are the eldest daughter in your family, then perhaps you might be noticing increased perfectionism, more anxiety, difficulty in relationships, and even identity formation. Now, the reason for this being is because in a lot of families, the first child, the eldest daughter, often absorbs a lot of the familial responsibilities, well, due to gender discrimination and bias. Even if there's an older brother, because you're a female, you're going to be expected to do more chores and caretaking of your younger siblings. Next, when a parent becomes a parent, usually their inner child wounds come out to play. This is the first time they have a chance to rise to the surface and let themselves be known. So your relationship with your parents might have a little bit more of an insecure attachment simply due to the fact that you're the one, if you are in fact the firstborn, you're the one that made them a parent. Therefore, their inner child's causing all these issues. They're remembering their repressed childhood trauma, and that is causing roadblocks and barriers from the two of you being able to form a healthy attachment. In addition to that, perhaps there's more financial scarcity and instability, which means increased stress for the parents. Perhaps it's a new skill that they're learning, how to be a parent, and they haven't quite mastered and corrected mistakes. And so you're kind of the test run, the guinea pig child. Also, maybe parents are starting off a lot more strict with you. So you're noticing, I did not have the same parents that my younger sibling or my male sibling might have had. Different children end up with different parents. It's a strange concept to think about. Now, another thing that ends up happening with eldest daughters is they end up being the gold standard kid. The parents have a lot of high expectations of them to set a really good example for the younger children. They just kind of assume that the kid is going to always choose the right thing, not misbehave. Sometimes eldest children even feel robbed of their childhood because they didn't get a chance to play like their younger siblings. Their parent automatically kind of treated them like a lot older than they really were, and their parent kind of more treated them like their own sibling rather than their offspring. Because the parent has such high expectations in terms of behavior from their eldest child, sometimes that can mean a lot of shaming in order to kind of correct any perceived misbehaviors or subpar behavior that the child might be exhibiting. Also, the parent can sometimes have their own insecurities, past traumas, and unmet needs that they expect their eldest child, their firstborn, to somehow heal. So often we'll see a lot of pressure to academically excel, to do really well in sports, to do the things that the parent felt that they weren't able to do for whatever reason. All of this, like I mentioned earlier, leads to perfectionistic tendencies because you think you have no room to make blunders or mistakes, or you've never been given the grace to kind of learn as you go and grow. Also, anxiety because you're always held responsible for the well-being and safety of your younger siblings. You just kind of step into this parenting role, and so that makes you more hyper attuned and aware to your environment, which has more fear and cortisol in the body because you're trying to catch any potential bad things from happening and prevent them. And the last thing is because you're really stifled by your familial role, you don't get to really form a fully well-developed, well-rounded identity and personality. You don't get a chance or the luxury to explore, what are my interests? What's my vibe? What do I want to be like? Most of your life is just kind of defined based on what you mean to other people in terms of the family role. If any of this sounded really relatable and relevant, send me a message, send me a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And of course, none of this is set in stone. That's what counseling therapy is for. It's there to give you the things you did not have. If you were raised in a high pressure, high stress environment where things were always expected of you and you were supposed to just be a lot older than you were, well then counseling therapy is the space where you can learn how to undo that wiring and have different wiring instead. See you next time.